Artemis Lysander Tina Jarvie was born in the Haitian capital of Windlake to a wizarding family. His parents, both high-ranking members of Guldur Natunda, the governing guild of the city, he was raised in the practice of all things arcane, whether he liked it or not. From an early age, however, his passions lay in magizoology. Even as an infant, he could often be found playing among the giant scorpion hatchlings carefully farmed in the city. As such, these excursions caused endless grief for his steady stream of tutors and nannies, only abated by the distraction provided by his elder sister Ariana. His sister, leaving home when he was just 14, left him no room for his own interests, however, and the next 4 years were spent with his nose pressed to his books, in preparation for his own entry exams to his parents' guild. He eventually was able to pass these exams with flying colours, and was soon appointed to a research cell within Guldur Natunda, conducting their own secretive operations in Hate. This cell devoted its existence to the research of new weapons against the dragon menace in Vandarum, though their experimentation on a red dragon hatchling eventually proved too much for Artemis. He in pity stole away with the hatchling to Frist, after it had been exposed to a demonic poison of Art's own invention, which then in turn led them to Helsa, finding a cure in the island's native remedy flower, Shade Blossom. However, the care for the hatchling, now named Ember, in Helsa's demon-infested lands proved too much for Artemis, as he eventually found her enthralled to her father, the shadow dragon Randoon. Now he too bears the mark of Randoon, a constant reminder of his shortcomings in protecting Ember, and the fate that will befall him too, if the Scourge is not defeated.
Oh, do you want to know who I am? Well, share that whiskey and I think I can answer a few questions. Well, I'm Davin Bursk. I grew up in Huff Bay, the capital of Helsa. My father and I were the greatest smiths in all of Helsa. Those were the days. You could lose yourself for hours in the forge. But we weren't exactly the best shopkeepers. Mounting debts and then my father passing away took me to a very dark place. One night, losing myself as I do at the forge, the flames, they spoke to me. They told me about a way I could get away from my debts and start afresh. Obviously I was going to take it. What, the demon invasion of Helsa? I suppose that could have helped too. But the voice, it gave me a new purpose. It helped. It got me across the sea. And it lived up to its promises. I now have another forge again, and also more of a purpose in my life. To help it. So I'm sort of travelling around, trying to find ways I can help his name, as it were. Oh, who are they? Eldor? No, didn't think you'd heard of them either. But if you do ask about, he's not a traitor. I'm trying to prove that anyway. The group I'm with have got a few other god worshippers too, and I'm hoping they can help with that in some way. I don't know, we'll see what we can find. Right, we'll pour up another whiskey and maybe I'll answer some more questions later.
You see this Goliath? I'm Mavcan, or Mav for short. I grew up over on the outskirts of Bloodhunt, capital city of Bestamar, on the western arm of Vandarum, and I was encouraged since I was a little one to pursue fame and glory for the Thunu Kalathi clan, that's my clan, by competing in the fighting pits. I was one of the best, if I do say so myself, and I earned the purple bands and ribbons on my fighting clothes to prove it. Trouble is, one night I was fighting this big half-orc fella, really getting into it, you know, when all this glowy white light starts pouring out my eyes, and when I was hitting him, it was like the light was hurting him too. I don't know where it came from, or why, but the rules of the fighting pits are clear. Says no magic allowed. So I couldn't be a fighter anymore. Really threw me, especially when my clan started calling me Lightspeaker. But I figured if I can use it to help other people, then it can't be too bad. At heart, I'm a lover, not a fighter. But what I really love is hitting people. I like the rest of the group a lot, every one of them. And after seeing what some of them can do, I reckon they might have some of the answers I couldn't find back home. I might not be the best with words, or with letters and numbers in general, but I'll try and help wherever I can. Whether they need a second opinion, a little cuddle, or for me to bail them out of trouble. You might hear some of the group call me she. You might hear others call me he. To me, doesn't really matter. People's is people's. If you want to know what's in my trousers, maybe buy me a drink first, yeah?
Born as Khatun into the bloody tribal cult of Malar, raised after her escape as Talia Timbers by a loving gnomish family in a fishing town. Known to most simply as Tilly, this many-named half-elven paladin of Habakkuk earned her mantle after undertaking a dangerous pilgrimage to bring her patron god back to the mortal plane, and thus becoming a devoted Knight of the Crown. They say that this small but ancient order of paladins protects the values of honesty, loyalty, persistence, and most of all, endurance. And Tilly's certainly known to endure. She's been dead 3 times, well, undead once, and yet, somehow, she's stuck around. Now, let me backtrack a little. Even though Tilly's story may seem all serious and stuff, she's probably the goofiest paladin you've ever met. Friendly, cheerful, and curious beyond the limits of propriety. She was just a small-town artist from Blackjaw until her youngest gnomish brother got hurt on the cliffs near their home, and Tilly learned her hands could heal. Soon after, she met some other folks with special talents who needed her help, and through solving a mystery in the city of Mint together, Tilly was drawn to her new adventuring family by a dual promise. One, the opportunity to use her divine powers to protect her homeland and help the innocent, and, see the world. And, 2, the possibility of somehow, someday, finding out what happened to Reza, her brother by blood, long lost and left behind in the cult she does not like to remember.